everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to notify team on Microsoft Teams for Stripe payment. So I'm an owner of a skincare brand and using Stripe, I collect the payments from my customers as they're going to purchase the products that I'm selling in my business. Here what I want is that as soon as I'm going to receive a new payment by the customer as they're going to do the purchase of the products that I'm selling using Stripe, I want to notify about that payment being done on my Microsoft Teams channel that I've created. I want to notify about that payment to my team. Now sending these notifications manually as soon as the new payment is done is very time consuming. So what I did was I simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Stripe and Microsoft Teams with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to notify team on Microsoft Teams for Stripe payment. So I'm an owner of a skincare brand and using Stripe, I collect the payments from my customers. Here what I want is that as soon as the payment is going to be done by the customer, you can see this the payment page of one of the products that I'm selling in my business, that is Natural Glow Refreshing Face Toner. I want that as soon as by the customer, I'm going to tell you some details of the customer. This is the email, that is testuser02@pabblytudes.com. The phone number, first name as Test, last name as user2. This is the dummy card details right here. And this is the address details, okay? I want that as soon as the payment is going to be done by the customer using Stripe, what should happen is, you can see over here it says thank you for your payment. This means the payment has now been successfully done with the help of Stripe. I want to notify about this payment being done to my team on my Microsoft Teams channel. This is the channel you can see right away in the name of new Stripe payment. I'm going to refresh this page from here. And you can see right over here, the notification regarding the new payment has been forwarded on my Stripe channel. You can see right away, it says new payment received. Hi team, we have received new payment. Name comes as testuser02, email as testuser02, amount and the transaction ID. And this is the message right over here. This is the notification that has been forwarded to my team on Microsoft Teams channel. So you can see as the notification is forwarded, this has been forwarded automatically. So now you might be thinking how this has been done automatically. So now you might be thinking, as the notification is forwarded, how this is done automatically. This is done as I have created an automation between my Stripe account and Microsoft Teams with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Notify Team on Microsoft Teams for Stripe Payment. So this is the name of my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Stripe Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Notify Team on Microsoft Teams for Stripe Payment. And you can see over here, there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We're going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Stripe. As with the help of Stripe, I'm collecting the payments from my customers as they're going to do the purchase of the skincare products that I'm selling. I want that as soon as a new purchase is going to be done in my Stripe account, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger, I'm going to select it as Stripe. And for my trigger event, I'm going to select it as new charge. With the help of this trigger event, whenever a new purchase is going to be done, the payment is going to be done using Stripe, automatically with the help of this trigger event, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. And for doing that, we need to create a connection between Stripe and Pabbly Connect. And for that, Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to build a connection between Stripe and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to firstly copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, we're going to create a connection between Stripe and Pabbly Connect. For that, log into your Stripe account. So this is my Stripe account, as you can see right over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this account to Pabbly Connect. For that, from the left side of the panel, go to the developers section on the bottom left corner right here. After coming to developers, over here from the given option, it says webhooks. Click on this option right over here, okay? After coming to that, you're going to land towards the webhooks page right here, and we are going to create a new endpoint. For that, click on this button right over here, okay? As I'm going to do that, over here it is asking for the event from. I'm going to select as your account. For the API version, I'm going to select this API version right here. For the events over here, it is saying in the help desk to select the event in the name of chart succeeded. So over here from the events, as I want the response of the chart succeeded, that means whenever the payment is going to be done in my Stripe account, automatically Stripe should send the response to Pabbly Connect. So with that, we are going to select the event. For the event, I'm going to go from these categories to this charge category. If I'm going to scroll down, there is an event known as chart succeeded. I'm going to select this event from here. Then I'm going to click on this continue button. After that, it is asking for the endpoint URL. For that, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After that, I'm going to click on this create endpoint button. You can see right over here, new endpoint. That means the webhook URL has now been successfully added to my Stripe account. So now the Stripe account that I'm running is on the test mode. You can see right over here. In the similar manner that I've showed you right now, you are going to add your own webhook URL to your active account of your Stripe, okay? So as now the URL is successfully added to my Stripe account, this means the connection between Stripe and Pabbly Connect has now been successful. In the workflow over here, it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Stripe is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I am going to do the test payment using Stripe, okay? After doing the test payment, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of that test payment being done or not, okay? For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Stripe account. So you can see right over here, this is the product that I'm selling, that is Natural Glow Refreshing Face Toner. And I'm going to do the test payment for this product. I'm going to do the test purchase. So this is the purchase link right over here. I'm going to copy this link from here and I'm going to open it in a new tab right over here, okay? And now what happens is you're going to land towards the payment link of this product, that is Natural Glow Refreshing Face Toner. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the test purchase of this product, okay? Over here, it is asking for the contact information of our customer. So I'm going to fill in the details. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as test@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number over here, I'm going to enter the dummy mobile number. Next, it is asking for the first name of our customer. For the first name over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as lead. For the card number, I'm going to fill in the card details right away. It is the dummy card details right here. So I filled in the card details. For the card holder's name, I'm going to write it as test lead, okay? It is asking for the address. So I'm going to fill in the address details. I'm going to select the country. For the address over here, I'm going to write it as 123 New City, okay? This is the address. After that, it is asking for the city. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Bhopal. For the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code. For the state over here, I'm going to select it as Madhya Pradesh, okay? After filling in all the dummy details, I'm going to click on this pay button. As I've done that, you can see right away it says thanks for your payment. Now the payment has now been successfully done. This was a test payment, you can see right here. Now I'm going to open my workflow and check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of this test payment being done or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test payment being done. Over here, you can see the type comes as chart succeeded because this trigger event is for the chart succeeded. You can see right here. Let us tally the response. In the response over here, the status of the payment comes as succeeded. You can see right here. If I'm going to further scroll down, the method of the payment comes over here as card. The amount of the payment comes over here as 550, and over here with the 550 we have received the 2 extra zeros in this amount. You can see right over here. We are going to make these changes further in this workflow. Let us first tally the response, okay? If I'm going to further scroll down, you can see we've received the name of our customer, that is test lead. For the email as test@pabblytudes.com. State comes as MP, that was Madhya Pradesh. Description over here comes as Pabbly. For the postal code, this is the postal code of our customer. Address comes as 123 New City. Country as India, that is IN. For the city comes over here as Bhopal, okay? With all the other details. As we have received the response right over here, this means that we successfully connected Stripe with Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever a new payment is going to be done by the customer using Stripe, automatically in the similar manner, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that, okay? As now the trigger setup is done, we need to set up our action step. My objective is to send notifications to my team on Microsoft Teams channel that I've created whenever a new payment is going to be done by the customer through Stripe. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Microsoft Teams, okay? As I want to send a notification to the channel that I've created of my Teams on the Microsoft Teams channel, okay? And for the action event, I'm going to select it as send message in a channel. Okay, as I'm going to send a notification message on the channel right here. After that, I'm going to click on this connect button to connect Microsoft Teams to Pabbly Connect. A window is going to appear in front of you on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on connect with Microsoft Teams. As I'm going to do that, a window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this accept button. As the save process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this accept button right over here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized Microsoft Teams to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing over here, it is asking for us to select the team and the channel. So over in my Microsoft Teams, I have created a team in the name of New Payment Alerts. And under this team, I've created a channel in the name of New Stripe Payments. So what I'm going to do is for the team over here, I'm going to search for New Payment Alerts. So this is the team right over here. I'm going to select this team right here. And for the channel, I'm going to select as New Stripe Payments. Okay. After selecting the team and the channel, it is asking for the message that we want to send to our team on this channel that we have created in the name of New Stripe Payments. So for the message over here, it says enter the message in HTML format. So I'm going to enter the message right away in an HTML format according to our requirement. So I'm going to write the message over here as... So this is the message you can see right away that I want to forward as a notification to my team on the Microsoft Teams channel that I've created. It is in an HTML format because it helps as it says enter the message in HTML format. Okay. Over here, this is the message, and in the message, you can see I've created few dynamic fields like the customer's name, customer's email, payment amount. You can see right over here with the transaction ID. These are the fields in place of which I want to enter the value of the details that we have received while doing the payment of our customer. Okay. So for the data of these fields, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data versus mapping. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step, that is Stripe new charge. As I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. Over here, it is asking for the customer's name. So I'm going to search for the name of my customer right here. You can see this was the name of the same customer I've done the payment using Stripe. So for the data of this field of this customer name, I'm going to select the data from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is now going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the customer's email, I'm going to search for the email over here first. And I'm going to map the data of this email in place of this customer email field. Next, it is asking for the payment amount. Okay, so I'm going to map the data of the payment amount right here. I'm going to search for the amount. So you can see over here, we received the amount right over here, but the amount is with the 2 extra zeros. So what we are going to do is for the amount over here to remove the 2 extra zeros, we're going to add another action step to this workflow. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as number formatter by Pabbly. Okay. And for the action event, I'm going to select as perform math operation. With the help of this action event, we are going to remove the 2 extra zeros from the amount that we have received in our previous response. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. It is asking for the numbers that we want to perform the math operation with. Now what I want to remove those 2 extra zeros from the amount. Now every time the data of the amount that is going to be captured in our previous step is going to have the 2 extra zeros in the end. So for removing the 2 extra zeros, we're going to divide our amount with 100 so that the extra 2 zeros are going to be removed. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to perform the math operation. That is, I've selected this action event right here. Now we're going to perform the math operation between the amount and 100. And over here it says you need to enter the comma to separate the values to perform the operation. Example, if you want to add 100 by 200, we have to write it as 100 comma 200. So what we're going to do is for the numbers over here, firstly I'm going to map the rate of the amount right here. I'm going to map the rate of amount, comma, and then I'm going to divide it by 100. So I'm going to enter 100 right over here. And the operation that I want to perform is divide. So I'm going to select as divide. Okay. Then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, the result is going to come over here as 550. So now what we're going to do is for the amount, I'm going to map the data of this result that we have received. I'm going to select this data of the amount here, and I'm going to map the data of the amount right over here. Okay. After that, it is asking for the transaction ID. You can see right over. So I'm going to map the data of the transaction ID that I've received in my previous response. This is the ID right over here. I'm going to map the data. Okay. So this is the message that I want to send to my team on Microsoft Teams. I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, we've received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my channel right over here. As I've opened my channel, you can see right over here, new A new notification has been forwarded as new payment received. Hi team, we have received a new payment. Customer's name as test lead, email as test@pabblytunes.com with the amount as 550 with the transaction ID. Please proceed with the next steps for the processing order. Let's keep up the great work. Thank you. Okay, so this was the notification that has been forwarded to my team on Microsoft Teams channel that I've created. As the notification is forwarded, this means that we successfully created an automation between Stripe and Microsoft Teams with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a skincare brand and using Stripe, I collect the payments from my customers as they go to do the purchase of the products that I'm selling in my business. Here, what I've done is that as soon as the payment is going to be done by the customer using Stripe, over here, trigger is going to capture the response of that. And as the response is going to be captured over here in the trigger, automatically a notification to my team on Microsoft Teams channel is going to be forwarded as a set up this action of Microsoft Teams right over here. Okay. And this is how you create this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.